Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. You're now tuned in to another episode of Talk That Talk with Q. I am your host, the one and only Q, and today we will be talking about mental health. The ups, the downs, the ins and outs about the therapy, the therapeutic messages, the remedies that it takes for us to self-heal and to get over the things that we're battling that creates the mental health and stress in the first place.
Love, talk that talk with you. Come on in, come speak your truth. Break the chain. Talk that talk with you.
And today I have with me.
Hi, my name is Rich Tippett. I'm a licensed mental health counselor in the state of New York. I have been for about 8 years. I'm also an EMDR therapist, which I hope to touch on later.
All right. So, the big thing is that everybody, wonders about or is skeptical about is needing a counselor, period. And I'm not crazy. I'm not going out of my mind. I don't need a counselor, stuff like that. So, what do you say to people who feel that type of way or actually even say that to you with you being an actual counselor?
Yes, so that's a very common opinion to have. I get it. It makes sense. There's a lot of skepticism. There's a lot of vulnerability going into counseling. Mm-hmm. What I would say to that is you don't have to be crazy to go to counseling. We could all benefit from counseling a little bit. Mm-hmm. Reason I say that is imagine not going to a primary care physician your whole life. Mm-hmm. Even if you're relatively healthy, it's still helpful. Going for mental health counseling can help as well. You don't have to be crazy. You don't have to be severely struggling to seek out therapy.
Okay. All right. So I have a list of here of questions, the generalized questions, some general, some more specific to your actual field of counseling. And we'd like to dive into that,
Yeah.
So the highly qualified questions for today will be, most people feel overwhelmed with anxieties, simple by everyday life issues. What is a simple yet effective grounding technique that can be used in the moment to manage the stress?
Before even going into a grounding technique, I'd like to address that anxiety is normal.
Okay.
Everyone experiences anxiety. What we're looking at, or what I'm looking at, is what degree it's happening. Am I experiencing anxiety to the point where I'm struggling with work, or it's interfering with school, or impacting my relationships? Mm-hmm. One of the most common things I hear is there must be something wrong with me. I'm having anxiety. Mm-hmm. And anxiety is a normal response to a situation. Anxiety is a messenger from the body and brain saying, hey, something's going on right now. I don't know what to make of it. I'm not sure what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
And that leaves people kind of like, that's where they get in. I don't know what's going on. Hey, what is wrong with me? Am I stressing or am I depressed? And they just go to the general things of what they think it is, but it could be deeper.
Yeah, anxiety is normal.
Right. Okay.
Sadness is normal. Anger is normal. All of those things are normal emotions. We're looking at what is this trying to tell me? Mm-hmm. So when it comes to grounding skills for anxiety, I'd like to talk about window of tolerance as well. So window of tolerance is this concept that each of us has a mental green zone that we're in where, yeah, I can handle most things. Mm-hmm. If somebody's upsetting me or maybe work stressing me out, generally I can handle that. Mm-hmm. We all can reach a point where it becomes too much.
Right.
Our body and brain are going to go into one of two ways. Mm-hmm. It's going to go into a state of fight or flight, where you may notice it's really difficult to focus on the task ahead of you. Right. You might notice someone talking to you all of a sudden starts to irritate you. You might notice your palms get sweaty, your heart rate increases. You might just notice a lot more physical tension as well.
Okay.
And in that moment, it's a sign from our body and brain saying, hey, this is too much for us. The other way that it goes, you ever blow a circuit before?
Yeah.
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 Sometimes that happens as well, where we just completely freeze. None of these are choices. This is something that our body and brain have decided is best for us in this moment to help us survive whatever stressor is going on.
And just take a minute and just shut down for a second.
Yes.
Reboot and pick it back up.
Yeah, and so one of my favorite ways to do that, I was doing this right before the podcast. I've never been interviewed in a podcast before. Of course I was nervous, and
Right.
that's okay. We can
Right.
do great things in spite of having anxiety.
Right, right.
I really enjoy triangle breathing. So triangle breathing is where you're going to imagine in your mind's eye taking a deep breath in through your nose, holding for 3 seconds. You're drawing that first line of the imaginary triangle. Then you're going to hold your breath for 3 seconds. If you can't do it for 3 seconds, don't pass out.
Right.
Go with whatever you can do.
Right.
And then you're going to breathe out through your mouth for 3 seconds. And you're going to keep doing that, because once we can get the body to calm down and relax, it's a lot easier to sit with, whew, what was that? What didn't I like about this situation? What was so upsetting to me?
Right. Okay. All right. Good. Informative, man. Thank you. Just one technique there. He just gave you a free session right there. Let me say. Okay. So the next question is, we often hear about the importance of self-care, but what does that truly look like when we say self-care, especially in this practice? Like what does that actually look like? And the common myths and struggles, particularly on the realistic strategies of busy individuals. Like what does that look like for everyone that's always on the go? Oh, I'm working. I got kids to take care of. I ain't got time to be, worrying about myself as much right now. I got a lot of stuff to do. I got bills and responsibilities. So what can you give on that?
I'm glad you mentioned realistic self-care, because it really is personal to the individual.
Right.
It doesn't always mean taking an hour to go book some type of spa appointment. I've noticed there's a lot of shame where people will feel as though, well, I can't even do this. What's wrong with me? I don't even have time for self-care. And it's really personal to the individual, where can you buy yourself 10 minutes? Most of these coping skills that therapists will provide that I use are about adapting to your daily life.
Okay.
Most of these skills you can use within 5 minutes.
And that right there, 5 minutes, that says a lot. Because a lot of people, I ain't got time to go, gotta get there, gotta sit down, know what they're gonna say to me, and I gotta sit there for an hour or whatever just for them to talk to me on how I feel and my emotions. Look, if you got systems that set up for 5 minute time period where people can do this at their own homes, at their own leisure.
Own homes.
Okay.
Yeah. When I'm working with people, I'm really looking at adapting to their lifestyle, where they're at. Counseling is not about, client, you need to come to me and you have to do what I tell you to do.
Right.
In a therapeutic setting, it's about, tell me where you're at, what you need, and let me see what skills I can suggest that adapt best to you.
Oh, okay. Right. And that right there in itself is an excellent mindset for the client to feel like, okay, it's not just these walls in this office and you're telling me that something's wrong with me, and okay, this is what you suggest and I should just do it, and you're not hearing me.
No, and I'm really glad you mentioned that too, about there's something wrong with me. I'm not a really big proponent. I don't use that type of language when I'm working with clients. The approach I take is based on Irving Yalom, who's a therapist, said it best when he said, it's not clinician and client where there's this imbalance. Yes, there is a power imbalance by nature of being in this relationship, but I prefer to go with what he said, which is, we're fellow travelers. I've had life experiences that have helped me get to where I am. You've had life experiences that have helped shape you are.
Right.
You know yourself more than I do. When I'm first getting to know a client, I've known them maybe 50 minutes. They've known them their entire lives. Who's really the expert on themselves?
Right. Makes sense.
It's an open dialogue.
Okay. Communication breakdowns are a major source of conflict in relationships. What are some essential communication skills that listeners can cultivate to foster healthier connections with their loved ones?
It's really complex with communication, because a lot of us are playing on scripts where our brain and body don't just interpret physical threats. They interpret social threats as well. And unfortunately, the same system that's responsible for responding to physical threats is also the same one that responds to social threats. So that can be, maybe you're coming home and you got the wrong groceries, and your partner mentions that. Now all of a sudden it's, well, what are the internal thoughts that I'm having right now? Is this I'm bad? Is this there's something wrong with me? I can never do anything right. In that moment, I'm probably not pretty grounded in myself.
Okay.
So by being able to pause, slow down, work with your body responses first before responding.
Okay. Okay.
Because the quicker we are to rush to whatever it is my partner said, or family member, or friend, slow down before responding.
Okay. All right. So you do feel like the like a healthier connection through the delivery based off of your self-reflection first, and taking a moment to breathe again, going back to the breathing exercise, and to understand the situation. Is it really this serious that it needs to be escalated, or is it something that can just be simply talked out and or just done on the person themselves own actions?
Yeah, so part of with healthy communication is understanding what our blind spots are. Am I having a rough day today? And all of these skills are things that I would highly recommend working with a therapist on. These aren't things that you have to do on your own or try to work through on your own. These are things that therapy can be very helpful for. When it comes to slowing down with communication, there's a lot about well, I don't want to leave an awkward silence. Silence being awkward is an interpretation and a judgment, not a reality.
Right.
Think of anyone you've talked to before, people who slow down. It just means I'm being intentional about my communication and what I want to say here. A helpful question, if you can in the moment, because I get it, these things aren't easy. Learn to communicate healthy when your body is saying we don't like this is very challenging.
Right.
If I can start asking myself, is what I'm about to say helpful or harmful to me, my partner, my friend, my family member, whoever I'm talking to?
Okay. So in that sense, like what if you have a person that is relating to this question here, sidebarring, if you have a fast-paced person and a slow-paced person in the relationship though, and the fast-paced person is thinking like we talked about in the last question, where I don't have time, I just gotta go, or I don't want to hear it, all right, we'll deal with it later or something like that. So that person that's more slow-paced who wants to try to make it work, like what are your thoughts on or suggestions towards that type of, because it's always opposites attract type of situations, and you got one partner that does like to slow things down, one does like to be a little more fast-paced, go, gotta get it. What do you say to that type of scenario for this type of situation?
So in that type of situation, I would really look at, I'm responsible for me. I can't control, for the most part, how my partner is going to respond. I can't control their emotional reactions. Looking at, what do I need to do that's best for me right now, and how can I help this situation in a productive manner? And so really, we're looking at assertive communication skills. We're looking at healthy boundary setting. We're looking at distress tolerance skills there, which again are all things I would recommend working on with a therapist who can help teach you these things.
Okay. That leads into the next question, which is about negative self-talk. How can they identify and challenge these negative thoughts, patterns, to cultivate a more positive self-image of themselves?
So the brain and body skew towards the negative.
Okay.
The brain and body don't care about happiness, they care about keeping you safe.
Right.
And if that means I'm going to hammer your brain with all these negative thoughts about yourself to remind you of them to keep you safe, it's going to do that. It's not productive.
Right.
So instead of trying to prove that negative thought wrong, I like what Walt Whitman said, be curious, not judgmental. In those moments, I wonder what's going on here. I wonder why this thought is even present. Because we are not our thoughts. On average, I think I read 70,000 thoughts a day. We're going to connect and attach to the ones that have a strong emotional charge to them on average.
Wow.
If we're able to use what's called mindfulness skills to sit with and be curious about what's present.
Okay.
I wonder where that's coming from. And I understand If you're living a busy life, you don't have time to sit there and meditate for 5 minutes. This is something that can be done in a therapeutic office to help learn these skills and apply them and adapt them.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you for that, man. Because I see a lot of people where they'll talk down themselves, and most times though it's because of the people around them, convincing them to be more negative, and then they just doing it now on their own natural. I'm like, what? I can't get with that. And why are you downing yourself? Or like, why are you bringing it on to your own self?
Yeah, and I think it's important to recognize nobody chooses to have negative thoughts about themselves.
Right.
Nobody wakes up one day and says, I'm a piece of crap. This is just who I am. It's a message that's outdated that came from somewhere, and working with a therapist can help to understand, where did this message come from, and I wonder why it's still here. I wonder how this message in the past, what's it keeping me from? What's it protecting me from?
Now, being a therapist, a counselor, do you encounter a lot of people who are adults now, for example, who still relate to their childhood traumas or childhood situations, whether it's good or bad, that reflects what happens with them today on their day-to-day life?
Yes, and it is not a conscious choice. So I'd like to explain. So
Okay.
I am an EMDR therapist. EMDR stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. It's based on adaptive information processing theory, which posits. I'm going to give you an example, if I may. Imagine you are 4 years old. You're walking down the street. You see a dog. That dog comes up and bites you. Now you walk home. It's terrible, rough experience, right?
Right.
Now, you're 27 years old, hypothetically. You see a dog. How do you think you're doing?
You're going to automatically think about when you were younger, like, uh-oh, that dog's going to bite me.
Yeah, and it's not a conscious choice. Imagine, again, this doesn't happen all the time, because some people, that memory will consolidate and be okay. What I mean by that is, it's not considered traumatic for them. It doesn't bring up those same emotions. It doesn't bring up that same response.
Right, okay.
For some people, though, if it is traumatic for them, what happens is, imagine somebody comes up to you and sticks a VR headset and earphones on you from that moment. Now, your body's in that present moment, but it feels like everything around you is back in that time where it's happening. Now, you might have friends saying, just calm down, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, but to your central nervous system and to your brain, it feels like you're back there. Are you really crazy?
No. Yeah.
No.
It's just what you experienced in your life that your brain is telling you. You did not like that situation. It was traumatic to you. And we need to respond accordingly.
Yes, and when I talk about trauma is a normal response to abnormal events. It is not a choice. Nobody chooses which memories are traumatic for them.
Right. Man. This whole topic and subject matter here can go so deep. I don't want to spend too much time, but we want to get to the key points on how these things come about, the questions and solutions to it. That's the whole focus here. But man, there's so many things I just want to segue into and keep going on, but I want to stay on topic.
We'll do a whole podcast on EMDR. How
Yeah,
about that?
there you
All
go.
right.
That sounds
All
better.
right.
All right. All right, so next is the forgiveness stage. Both for oneself and for others. Is often cited as crucial for emotional healing with practical steps. Can listeners take to navigate the process of forgiveness, especially when it feels incredibly difficult?
Yeah, I'm really glad you mentioned forgiveness, because that's something that comes up a lot, and there's a lot written about it, and a lot of stigma around forgiveness too, I would say.
Okay.
One of the things that I encounter with forgiveness is, well, if I forgive myself, it means I'm giving myself a free pass. Forgiveness is not about giving yourself a free pass. It's recognizing that, yeah, maybe in that moment I'm not happy with my behavior, but I did the best I could in that moment. Forgiveness, can't see it, I'm wearing a shirt underneath this though. Brian Stevenson said, each of us is more than the worst thing we've ever done. And I like to take that a step further and say, each of us is more than the worst thing that's ever happened to us. When we're in survival mode, when we're in the midst of some stress or some trauma, man, sometimes we don't always make the right decisions, and that's okay. It still means that we're worthy of love. So when you're working with forgiveness, be patient and kind to yourself. It's okay for it to be a slow process. The idea that I need to forgive someone who hurt me to move on is not necessarily true. That's something where I would recommend trusting yourself, working with a therapist on this, because sometimes that can lead to a lot of shame. Because what if I still have a lot of anger about someone who hurt me? I'm not ready to move on from that yet. I would never tell somebody, well, you have to in order to move on. That's a personal decision, and that's a when they're ready, if they're ready.
Right.
Forgiving oneself, I would say, is far more important.
Yeah.
It's building that relationship with yourself.
Now, what about those who just feel like that they can't get past what they've done or what they allowed themselves to have done to them, or which they're trying to still forgive themselves for?
That's where therapy can be very helpful. I know I'm biased. I am very biased, of course.
Yeah.
The reason I bring that up is because if I'm just going through this in my own head the whole time, I can feel stuck. I'm looking at, what about me is so unforgivable? Can I forgive the part of me that's unforgivable right now, that I feel is unforgivable right now?
What about because like this part I feel like is really crucial as well. All of it is, but it's a lot of people walking around here not forgiving the action of what's been done. Whether they caused the action or someone else caused the actions to them, they won't forgive, so it leaves them in a state of depression the entire time of their lives. And it starts to show on their physical aspect, on their mental aspect, their social aspect, all around. Like what are some ways that they can really? Yeah, I'm kind of struggling with the words because it's so much.
It's tough. This is a tough subject with forgiveness, and so it's a personal journey with forgiveness. And I guess my recommendation is it's when you're ready. This is not something that can be forced. Remember Aesop's fable, maybe when you were a kid? With the lion with thorn in his paw?
Yeah.
If I go pulling somebody's thorn out of their paw and they're not ready for it, I'm doing more damage than help.
Okay. Good.
Because I'm also further pushing that narrative, hey, there's something wrong with you if you don't forgive, and that's leading to shame. We're looking at healing means I'm enough as I am right now. That's what that unconditional love is.
Okay.
I'm enough as I am right now, even if I'm not ready in a place to forgive myself yet. But how can I get there?
It's just, for me, it's just when they're trying to, I hear you when you say about, let them or forgive on their own time and get over it on their own time. But say it's years going on and you're still in that slump and you're still like, wow, that's not your life. That you don't have to keep accepting what happened to you 3, 4, 5 years ago. I know it has to be a way. I know you might be saving it for a session or something, but you got to give us. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But we trying to break these barriers so the world can be a little more in depth on this process of forgiving and overcoming. To those.
Can you tell me about someone you really care about?
Yeah.
If that person made a mistake, really made a mistake, maybe a life-changing mistake, what would you do? What would you tell them?
Oh, about themselves and what went wrong, what they did wrong, and why it hurted or why it wasn't the right thing.
Doesn't even have to be up here. It can be in here. It's that we're all worthy of love, even if we make a mistake. Beating ourselves up when we made a mistake is counterintuitive. I don't get a broken bone better by beating that broken bone saying, what's wrong with you? Why are you not healed? I meet myself with gentleness, and that's a skill. It comes being able to self-accept some of the things that I'm not happy with. That's a process, and that's a skill that takes time and effort to learn. But it learns to be, we're learning to tolerate that distress that comes from I don't like this.
Mm.
I don't like that mistake I made.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's a mistake I made. Guilt is, I did something wrong, I don't like it. Shame is, I am wrong.
Mm.
With that shame, we're looking at meeting that with gentleness of, I can do not great things that I'm not proud of, but it doesn't mean that I am this horrific, horrendous person, and focusing on that is not an accurate version of who I am as a person.
Okay.
We're not getting the whole picture.
Right. So to sum that up on forgiveness, like what will be like a simple step for, remember this fast-paced world
Yeah.
today. Yeah. So
It's tough because I don't know if there is a fast-paced answer for that.
that's good in itself. Yeah.
Being realistic, that's something that can take quite a bit of time, and again, it's when you're ready. Therapy is about when you're ready. Forcing yourself to go to therapy. It works best when you're ready for it. When I'm ready for it. If I'm going to therapy, it's important that I'm ready for it.
And that's crucial that you just said that, because you're saying don't force yourself to go. Just go when you know the timing or the feeling is right to go. Okay, because a lot of people is telling each other, oh, you need to see a therapist. Oh, stop it. Don't worry. Just go ahead. Yeah, I do. I think I need to go see a therapist. And some of them will just do it out of spite, or I'll just do it, and not feeling like completely whole and understanding what the process takes when you're going to a therapist. And then some will get overwhelmed, like, oh, I didn't expect all this. You know what? Nah, this isn't for me. I'm out of here.
Yeah, it's when you're ready.
Okay. Man. All right. This is more so on the spiritual side of things, and how it would affect counseling, or a therapist, or being therapeutic to some, because they're tying the real world of today with the spiritual world of the past and present. And sometimes those lines can get blurred, because you can pray, manifest, meditate and stuff like that, and feel like I don't need a counselor. And right now, the person I believe in, my creator, is all I need as my therapist. Now, to those feelings, like, what are your thoughts on someone who is more completely 100% indulged in their religion than needing a therapist? I'll call on my religion for that, and not another human being for therapy.
I would say I respect where they're at, and I'm hopeful that it works out for them. And it's not about, when I say help, therapy doesn't have to be the only option for people. Some people do find a lot of help through spiritualism, through religion. I can only speak to the therapeutic aspect of it. Is when someone walks into the therapy office for the first time, one of the questions is, hey, is spirituality and religion important to you? I approach from a non-judgmental aspect where, hey, is this something that really that is helpful for you, something that supports you, something that you find community in, whatever, and to be knowledgeable about that.
Okay. So it's not dismissive in the therapeutic world.
No. In fact, there are such things like Christian counselors and other denominations. If that's important to you, you as a client have a right to work with a therapist that supports your views. We take a non-judgmental approach to this.
Okay. So you are open to working with that specific client in their spiritual journey and their world that they're living in, so there's no divide.
Within my scope of practice,
Okay.
Absolutely, and within each therapist's scope of practice.
Okay, that's good to know, because you got a lot of people who feel strongly about their religion is their main source and their only source that they need, and for you to be doing therapy and stuff like that and counseling people, like, do you see a major like a major influence on people coming in with that as their lead or as their, you know, the guidance, or are they just looking directly towards the counselor and the therapy?
It's not my job or within my scope as a therapist to dismiss anyone's religious views.
Mm-hmm.
It's about working with it and recognizing too that, like, I'm just a person.
Right.
Therapy may not be I am not some miracle worker or healer or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's, hey, here's some stuff I think might be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if it works for you. What do you think? It's a tailored process. The therapeutic relationship is what's most important.
Okay.
If you're coming in and you're telling me about your religious views, and I'm saying, I hope you walk out the door.
Yeah. Because you know, you get some people who feel like they. You can't be.
I didn't do it.
You can't be wrong. I set off everything else except the alarm. Wow.
Add it to the blooper reel.
Yeah. Okay, so. All right, here we go. So you have a lot of people who are more focused on their spirituality and who would, you know, doubt you because you are just another man telling them something that may not or may be wrong with them, or your suggestions to a different life, even though they'll look at you like, well, you're going through stuff too and you're just counseling me.
That's true.
So what is your take on the people who would combat that, like, hey, you're just another person, why am I coming to you for therapy? You know, the people that get the little pull, like, I want to come here but I don't want to come here, I need to question everything about you as a counselor first off anyways, because I need to feel secure telling you my feelings, my thoughts, like, you know. So how do you approach people like that?
You're not going to be happy with my answer, but you did just answer your own question there.
Okay.
I invite questions. And when it comes to spirituality and religion, where people search for their sources of healing, not up to me to tell them where. If somebody says to me, hey, I get more healing from religion, spirituality, okay, cool, thanks for letting me know.
So you just cut it right there and you just go. Now, do you go back into what you do for them to help, to continue helping them, or is it like, is that a cut? I wonder if I'm asking this right, because I got it in my head what I want to say, but it's like I'm probably not projecting the proper question to ask on this part here, because it's like saying, okay, I'm gonna doubt you, basically. I doubt. I'm here because I want therapy, but I'm doubting you as another man telling me what to do or suggesting what I should do. Not just on religion, just on therapy, period.
I invite doubts and skepticism within therapeutic sessions.
Oh, okay.
If you don't trust me, how's this going to work?
Right.
And you don't have to trust me. Respect for autonomy and what the client wants and what they need in that room is entirely up to them.
Okay.
They can walk into the first session and be like, I don't like this guy. My response is going to be, that's cool. Let's find you someone that is, if you want a referral somewhere else.
Okay.
It's not about me. The therapeutic session is not about me as a therapist. It's about meeting this person in the room, respect for their background, their interests, their belief system, not mine.
Segueing into background, do you get all walks of life coming in?
Oh, of course.
And are the issues kind of the same, or they're slightly different depending on backgrounds? I don't know what you can tell or not tell. I know it's...
I'll say it this way. Pain is a universal language. We all speak differently and hear differently.
Right. Okay. That's all you're gonna give us?
I mean, I'll give more. It's I think it's important for people to recognize too, with anxiety, anger, depression, it can manifest differently. How depression manifests in one person can look completely different than how it manifests in another person. And the same thing with PTSD. So there is no one-size-fits-all version of how mental health difficulties are going to present.
Okay.
Does that maybe answer it a little more?
A little bit.
Yeah.
So, but I am going to go into this next part
Yeah,
of
go
that.
with it.
Yeah, is have you ever got someone who is like, I see you as Caucasian guy. I kind of want somebody else that looks like me to give me therapy.
Of course, and they have every right to do that.
And you've experienced that personally.
Of course. Yeah.
I don't mean to laugh, but how your reaction was. But how did you handle that?
It's not about me. It's about getting... The
Okay.
therapeutic relationship is the most important part of therapy.
Okay.
If there's not a vibe, that's okay. That's not about me. It's not personal. You have a right to work with someone who you want to work with.
Right. Okay. Because these are just real conversations we
Mhm.
having, real talk here. So, and I some of this type of stuff comes up. Like,
Oh, yeah, if you want-
Yeah.
I might not be the most relatable person for everybody, and that is okay. My job as a therapist in that point is to offer a referral and say, hey, let's maybe find you someone who would be more relatable for you. What do you think? And they can either accept that or they can go look on their own. Either are okay.
Okay. Oh, so that's something that you do within your practice. You will look for or help them look for someone that they need that will fit them.
Absolutely.
Okay. Not like, oh, you just stay with our company and this. Oh, okay.
No.
That's different. That's good.
No, it's about, hey, let me know. I invite open dialogue. I can't speak for other therapists. I can only speak for myself.
Right.
I invite open dialogue. Hey, how's this working for you? What do you think? And if it's not working, that's okay.
Right.
And not everybody has to let me know. Sometimes they may just go out and seek it on their own elsewhere, and that is okay too. It's not. I don't treat it as personal. It's about, let's get you the help, recognizing sometimes I might be a good fit, sometimes I'm not, and that's okay.
Right. So let's go on to the next question here. And what are some early warning signs that someone might need professional help? And how can someone encourage a friend or family member to seek support without being judgmental? Some early warning signs.
I think those are really good points you brought up too. If you're new, again, I would not recommend assessing these on your own.
Okay.
If you start to notice things like maybe somebody's isolating more than you're used to them, or you hear them talking about giving away belongings, things of that nature, that's when I would recommend calling crisis services. Do not take this into your own hands. Get a hold of a professional. Calling the crisis services line if you have questions about a family member and what to do is going to be very helpful there.
Okay, now that sounds kind of serious. Like, that's like really, really serious. Like, do you feel that that's a little excessive?
Are you talking about, in terms of professional help, do you mean you're worried someone's going to end their life, or do you mean more mental health help in general?
Mental health general. That is a level that leads into, but I'm just saying the first initial signs of someone, like little things that might be nuances or something that might be like, okay, wait a minute, something might be up. Is it kind of almost what you said about the slightly changing up, giving away things, or not being
That's going to be
themselves?
more specifically suicide.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
Really?
that's more like if they start to isolate more, those are more just general senses, but or general signs. But it's so specific to the individual.
That was a moment that's of that needs to be said too, because that is a critical part. You know, that was just what I was going to say a little later, but that this is still a part of the same question: the beginning warning signs, and to the leading up to, if you're feeling someone else is really in a crisis or really needs some help, is seeking help.
So, as far as signs go, it's really difficult, because we're looking at role, and we're looking at what your role is as a family member, friend, what have you. I would not recommend going on WebMD or wherever, looking up all the signs and symptoms and trying to diagnose somebody.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, people do have a right to choose treatment or not to. Having a general conversation of, hey, a general check-in. Hey, how you doing?
Right.
Things seem off. How you doing?
Now, for those who you want something, what are you calling me for? Just asking? You ain't just asking to see what I want. Like, you get that typical thing, but you just really want to just check in on them.
I think it depends on the nature of the relationship too.
Okay,
And
right.
yeah, well, we're friends. I care about you.
Yeah.
Checking in and seeing how you're doing.
Okay. And if they're dismissive, like,
We don't have control.
Right.
Unfortunately, the most we can do is support. But people have a right to choose when they want to go into therapy or not.
yeah, because even if you get some of those people where they dismiss everybody that I just want to be alone, I don't want to hear nothing, and then some they might lead into, and then later on oh wow, it was on the news. Like, actually seen a few situations like that, and like, what do you feel like could have been prevented, or you just don't? It's just too many variables in the world to even capture, like, because you get a lot of loved ones feeling like, oh, if I should have did this, if I would have just listened, or when they called, or if I would have just been there when they wanted me to just show up to just for this one moment, then that goes back into that forgiveness again, I think, actually.
Forgiveness and recognizing that, again, while I'm not diagnosing anything, that strikes me as a sign of grief, that what could I have done differently. I would encourage those who have lost loved ones to reach out for help. It's challenging to go through and not something you need to go through on your own.
And you think, would that lead into a segue of some more therapeutic counseling, because those who are grieving could lead themselves into a spiral of depression and so on and so forth? Or
I won't speculate on that too much.
Okay.
I will say grieving is a wound, and it's a common wound to have when we lose somebody. Reaching out and getting some support is helpful.
Now, I do want to ask, how do you feel personally as a counselor when you have to pretty much, I know you don't say you're judging, but you kind of are judging people that come in when they're talking to you about their problems, and then you're deciding on what to say or what techniques to use. How do you evaluate and break that type of thing down where you can still deliver and not feel like, oh, did I say the wrong thing, or should I suggested something different?
I'm pretty transparent. The first intake I have, so the first meeting I have with a client, I let them know, if I suggest something and you try it and it sucks, tell me the next session it sucks.
Oh, okay.
And let's find something out. There is a lot of trial and error too, where, hey, I think this one would work. Let's see how it goes. And it's doing my best to listen to where they're at and what works for them best. Some people are not visualizers. Some coping skills involve a lot of visualization. I'm probably not going to suggest a visualization coping skill to someone who is like, no, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
It's about tailoring to their needs.
Okay. So you, as far as judging, though, you technically do judge.
Define judge in this scenario.
Because you take someone's, for example, a client comes into you and then they're telling you, this is my problem, A, B, and C, and these are my issues, and then they say, well, can you help me? And then you go into however you, this part I don't know, but however you do the counseling session.
Okay,
but then the client is more like, what can you do, and how can you fix this situation? And you feel sometimes, maybe you feel like their issues is like a little more than you can handle, or a little obscure, or a little out of this world, like that judgment side. Like, how are you judging that in order to present the proper session? Or
I know. I want to make sure I'm getting you correctly on this. I'm assessing for what are some what's the background with this person, what are they struggling with, and does my skill set meet those needs? Does it meet what they're struggling with? And so just with good ethics and professional boundaries, I'm not going to practice in something that I'm not familiar with or trained in. At that point, I would look for maybe referring out to somebody who does. So to answer your question, if somebody's coming in with something, I'm like, that's not really my area of expertise, and that's not something I feel comfortable working with, because I don't have training in it, then
Oh.
that's time to refer out.
Okay, and it's more so based off of when you do get to that type of point, it's only because you don't have the training in a certain specific field. So are there multiple for like every little thing, training for every little like type of topic, or what type of trainings are there, like, you know, to just to give the people and us some type of like background, like, okay, because some can say, oh, I just like me, okay, I'm coming in, I just thought it was therapy, and I thought you take care of everything.
Yeah, and depending on how specific the issues you're coming in with, too. So some some therapists really specialize in working with clients who struggle with depression, really struggle with anxiety, or for myself personally, I really specialize with PTSD and trauma therapy. It doesn't mean I won't work with individuals who have depression, anxiety, and other areas too.
Right.
That's generally what I specialize in most. It's more about expertise and background.
Okay. Yeah, sort of like, you know, a doctor.
I wouldn't bring a Buick to a, I don't know, Subaru dealer to fix my car, right?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's on that part. I was just wondering, like, because it's like specifically for you to go train, you can choose which categories you want to specialize in.
Yeah, there's different modalities, so and different interventions you can use.
Okay. So what if someone wants to be a counselor? Like, what would be the steps that they would take to get into counseling?
Yeah, so, oh man, there's a lot here, but I'm going to try and sum it up as much as I can. There's a lot of different, there's a lot of ways to help people. Do you want me to go into becoming like a professional counselor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll speak with New York State. There's a master's in social work program and a master's in community mental health counseling, or becoming a school counselor, or becoming a psychologist. I can only speak to my professional degree, because we'd be doing a disservice to others. I went to Canisius College for my master's program. It was a 2-year program. And then I went on to get so I'm an LMHC, licensed mental health counselor in New York State. Requires a master's degree. Dude, I am messing this up.
It's all right. It's all right. It's been a while. It's all right.
Man, I'm going to have some resources on that.
Okay. Hey, it's all good. And so basically,
We do need more counselors, though, so if you want to become a counselor.
that's cool, man.
Yeah.
So it's so basically you do have to get.
You have to go to school.
Yeah, and it's is it really ideally lengthy, like 4 years, 6 year total? Like, well, what is the, or it all depends?
It all depends on what you want to do.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of different, I mean, what I can do is provide some resources. If you want to put on the back page, just if you're becoming if you're interested in becoming a therapist, a counselor, a social worker, I'm happy to provide some resources there. How's that sound?
All right, there we go. That's a good
All
way
right,
to
cool.
wrap it all
Yeah,
back.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
we could spend an hour on the different fields to go into and how to
Okay.
become a professional therapist. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, cool, man. So, and I think it's just got one more. Don't want to, like I said, we can go on and on about all the different fields,
Oh, yeah.
but the last question, where can the viewers find reliable resources and support if they're struggling with their mental health? The ideal, like, I know you can just say, oh, go to a counselor's office, but like, yeah. So give, like, yeah.
So if your local resources, the Erie County Mental Health Association, if you are feeling unsafe or you know somebody who are you concerned about their safety, crisis services, the local number there is 716-834-3131, or you can go to the website at crisisservices.org. If you are looking to find a therapist for yourself on an individual basis, you can go to psychologytoday.com. There are a lot of listings there.
Okay, cool.
And then for more resources, National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI.org, also has some great resources there.
Okay, we'll leave all that down in the description so you can, instead of just trying to pause, rewind, stuff like that. It'll be down in the descriptions below of this episode. So I got another question asked, and it's more so about your own personal. What made you like really want to get into, you personally, into counseling and therapy?
I wouldn't say I have a very unique story. A lot of therapists are, speaking for myself, I went through some stuff, and I didn't really know what to do about it. And so I got into therapy. I'm not ashamed to say I'm a therapist in therapy. I think I wouldn't trust a chef who doesn't eat their own cooking.
Right.
I am a therapist in therapy, and it was helpful for me. And I would say it helped me to be a better counselor overall, because I got to understand what it's like to be on the other side of that room.
Now, being on that other side of the room, what was it like?
One of the most helpful things I've done in my life.
Come on now, we on Talk That Talk with Q. You gotta give me a little bit of more of the real. Come on, bring it out, man.
All right, okay. I give it a little bit.
Okay.
I'm a perfectionist. Shocker.
Uh-oh.
I know, yeah, I'm a perfectionist. Part of what was helpful for me was learning, where can I let some of that go? How is my perfectionism getting in the way of things that I want to accomplish? So it really helped me in a lot of different areas of my life. I like to do lifting, and my coach pointed out to me the one day, he goes, nobody beats you up like you do, bro. I'm like, oh, he's right. And I would look at something, or look at a video and be like, you did that great. And in my head, I'm like, no, I didn't. So I had to work with what's causing me to see everything I do so negatively. And for me, therapy helped me to get to a place where I could look at things more realistically, instead of through this lens that I'm nothing, I can't do anything.
That self-talk we was just talking about.
Yeah, learning how to be, I would say, all right, I hope this is a better answer than what I started out with. I learned how to be more patient and gentle with myself.
Okay. You're taking time for yourself and understanding your own thoughts and feelings and emotions.
Yeah, and redefining for me what strength is.
Oh. Okay.
How many times, being taught, what strength is, what it means. Really, I learned vulnerability is a superpower, quoting Brené Brown. Made a huge difference for me.
Man. So, it's safe to say, because you're a counselor counseling yourself.
Oh no, I have a great therapist.
Okay. So you do your own self.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
And on top of that,
yes.
you still, and it provides, do you think it provides better help? With you getting counseled, and then you counseling other people? Okay.
I would say so, yeah. In my own experience, absolutely.
Okay. And now, do you feel that, are you presently being counseled? You constantly go on sessions? Okay.
Absolutely.
So do you feel that it has helped you overcome all things or some things, or it just just makes you cope?
The types of work I do are deeper root stuff. I like to get to the root of things personally in my counseling sessions. It doesn't mean every client has to do that.
Okay.
As far as I can go into impact on what's changed for me, what I've noticed.
Right.
5 years ago, I'm not doing this interview with you. Are you insane? I would have not had the confidence to be able to do this interview with you. Absolutely not.
Wow.
I wouldn't have thought I was worthy enough to do this interview with you. I'd have thought, there's people smarter than me out there. Go talk to one of them.
Now, question, sidebar real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Were you a counselor then, or not?
Yes.
Wow, really?
Oh, yeah.
So, that's kind of...
Me personally and me professionally, two different people.
Okay.
Just like, would you...
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
Would
enough.
you expect your doctor to never see a doctor?
Right.
Man, I hope not.
it's just you know, come on, let's be real. It's just a little different because you're talking about
extremely different.
Yeah, it's a counselor here counseling other people about their deepest, darkest issues sometimes, and then you know, it's just like okay, the counselor has to be counseled too, and
Oh yeah, I'm a guy.
right,
I'm just
right,
a dude.
right, okay,
Yeah, I'm wearing Converse and jeans. This is what I show up to when I'm at work.
okay. More subtle approach,
You just-
which is more inviting actually, because I think that probably helps some of the clients being not so.
Same level.
Oh, okay.
Same
Oh,
level.
Okay, makes sense, man.
That's at least my approach.
Right. Well, like you said, everyone has their own. And you speak for yourself.
Yeah, I'm not everyone's therapist, and that is okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, it's about finding your fit.
What are some of the pros and cons of being a therapist?
Start out with pro,
Mm-hmm.
being able to bear witness to such growth in people. To be there for them, to witness such tremendous pain and then see them overcome that,
Mm-hmm.
man, that's getting a little teary talking about it. That's powerful.
That's all right.
That's
man.
powerful.
Knowing that you can impact.
I'm gonna give myself as little credit as possible there because they're doing the work, right?
Okay.
Like so,
Fair
I give it a 95%, 5% split, right? Because they don't have to do anything in that room.
Okay.
They're doing so much work, and me, I just it feels like a privilege to be able to see that happen. Man, that's energizing. That's cool to see.
That's wonderful. Right there.
Whether it's successful or not, this career I've chosen is a privilege to me. That people trust me and are willing to work with me and be vulnerable with me, man, that's powerful.
What are some of the cons?
Well, it can be exhausting sometimes for sure. And that's why it's important for me with self-care. You know, when I'm exposed to a lot of people's pain, sometimes something people will say, I've caught myself saying this in my own therapy sessions, ooh, that was too much, I shouldn't have shared that. It's not up to them to worry about what I can or cannot handle. That's up to me to worry about.
Right.
In order for me to be an effective therapist, I have to make sure I'm taking care of myself. For me, for therapists, self-care is an ethical mandate.
That goes into, you have hundreds of people you're listening to all the time. Do you take some of that home with you?
When I was new in the field, absolutely. When I was new in the field, I took most things home.
Wow. How did you handle that though?
Good supervision and learning to just grow as a professional.
Okay.
So part of being a therapist is to have ongoing supervision and learning how to become a better therapist.
Is it like a turn off switch though that you building up? So, because it sounds like just I leave it at work.
No, I tend to, me personally, my practice, what I do, I steer into it and I'll ask myself, I wonder what about this situation really got to me. I wonder what was there. Because the more I push away, the more it's just going to follow me right back there. So instead of resisting it, I got curious of, I wonder what that's about. And I found that personally to be a more effective approach.
To embrace.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are some days where, some days where the hammer, some days where the nail. I think that's what the phrase is.
Yeah.
There are some days I leave work, I'm like, yeah, I'm great. I'm good to go today. And other days I'm like, man, that was a doozy. But don't we all? Don't we all have those days?
On day-to-day conversations with other people and stuff
right.
like that.
Some days are heavier than others, and that's when I needed to ramp up my self-care too.
Now, just like any other job and stuff like that, or career, how hard is it for you to separate the personal life when it comes to work? Knowing that you're going through some stuff in your own mind, but you know you got to go in for a session and listen to what they're going through in their mind. Does it slowly kind of leak out sometimes, or you, like, how do you manage that whole thing? Like,
For me, it's about being honest with myself. Or if I wake up in the morning and maybe I am going through something in my personal life that's really difficult, and I'm not able to be in a capacity to be present for my clients, that's a day I've got to take off then.
oh, okay, all right, now that's
If I'm not, if I'm feeling too stressed or overwhelmed, that's a day for me. Hey, I'm not in a place where I can be the best I can for this client. That's not fair to them. That's not helpful.
Okay. Now, have you like? Is that something that you know that's common for therapists to take? Like when it, because they have normal lives too,
Mhm.
and you know sometimes those their stressors could coincide. I mean, affect their work. And
Yeah, sometimes life things happen,
Mhm.
right? And we all need to call in. I would say a lot of I mean, just speaking for myself and people I work with,
Mhm.
do a great job of getting ahead of it
Okay.
and just noticing and planning and preparing.
Okay. And where you work, is it that just that like a community of based people where you are supporting one another within that system, or
Where I work, I would say I have great support. Absolutely.
okay.
Yeah, a lot of knowledgeable individuals, great support.
Okay. And that's where you can see yourself growing, or like
Yeah, that's how we keep growing by working with very talented, brilliant individuals, which I'm happy to say I do.
oh, that's good. That's good. So it's more community based, like within your own, like a family based.
Yeah, I like learning from people that know more than me.
Right. Right.
We all know something the other doesn't, and we
Mhm.
can continue to grow that way. And I think that's a really cool part of where I work.
All right. Cool. Cool. You ever had to? You take a client, I can't handle this one. This one is a little too.
Oh yeah, it's very common. We refer out like,
Oh.
"Hey, I think this one would be more a good fit for you. What do you think?" And they'd say, "Yeah, absolutely." Because
Oh.
again, at the end of the day, not about us; it's about them.
Okay.
Therapy is a one-sided relationship where they're first.
Mhm.
Clients are first.
And you take that approach with everything, and when
I-
it comes to
Yeah, I do.
okay.
Yeah, where it's not their healing is not. I can provide as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be everybody's perfect fit for a therapist, and that's okay. It's about whoever walks into that door doing the best I can with them.
Okay. Now, is there anything that I might have left out, and something that you want to leave the people with that is kind of really like dear to you on the therapeutic side that you would suggest or make a comment or something about? I know I just threw that on them. Sorry about that.
No, I'm gonna. If you're considering going in for therapy, or if you're struggling, this is a message that's been stated over and over again. You don't have to do this alone. There are people that can help you that are going to be the right fit for you. Please reach out if you're considering it. If you're struggling, you do not have to do this alone.
Do you feel that sometimes people who even bring it up, like I might need therapy, you think like that is a sign, or is that something sometimes people just say because they just stressed, or
Yeah, it could be a yes and no there too, right? Where maybe they're toying with the idea of going in for therapy, but they're not quite sure yet.
right?
And then others start to plan more, and others like, okay, I'm taking action steps.
Mhm.
I'm ready to go into therapy. So really, it's their choice.
Mhm.
If someone is struggling, I really hope they do reach out, get the support they need.
Can you tell the difference from when someone comes in well planned, well thought out, to the ones that just I'm here, I'm just trying to
So I
see what
do.
this about.
We assess for readiness for therapy for sure.
okay,
Like, hey,
okay.
let's see. Like, I look looking at how invested is this person.
Now, is that like a format, like a part of the system, like you trial error type, come see if this is right for you first, or you just jump into the first session?
Oh no, very often for the first month or two, if not more, it all depends because every client has their own individual timeline.
Okay.
For some people, I'm building therapeutic rapport with for like 6 months because if they don't, if it's not a relationship where they trust me or they're into what I'm saying or what I have to offer, it's not going to go anywhere.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so it's really everyone has their own individual timeline.
Okay. And in that, so it is common. So for someone to come in just one session and say that's it, I'm done, or not come back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. So
And
what do you think causes that?
oh man, there's so many factors to pick from,
Wow.
right? Life experiences, readiness. Maybe there's things that, I know are bothering me, but I'm not ready to talk about yet. And that's one of the biggest parts for me is respect for autonomy. Is hey, I might see that you're hurting, but if you're not ready, it's not up to me to force you to be ready. It's to let them know When you are ready, the door is here, the door is open.
So it's more like a gentle suggestion stuff. Okay, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, but not. Yeah, I see it, but you need to come in.
Yeah, I would unless I have safety concerns.
That's what. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
absolutely,
I'm going. Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you will try to, hey, come on, let's sit down, let's talk. If you see that, and then you see that they're really distressed or out, not in it, but out of it at the same time.
Yeah, so safety is number one, and there are different protocols we follow through with when someone reports that they're unsafe.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, and that's verbally saying that they're unsafe or physically
Well,
showing
we're
signs.
assessing that.
Oh, okay, okay.
There's an assessment that goes along with it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's a whole breakdown of itself.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Now, if you do get someone like that, and then they become like they don't, I still don't want to be bothered with you, but what do you do in that point?
You know, it's really tough. We reach out to support services
Wow.
and I do the best I can. But it can be tough in those situations.
And you support services, you mean?
I mean, crisis services.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's taking it to another level, correct?
If it's assessed that it needs to get at that level,
Mm.
absolutely.
And now it's out of your hands and into their hands.
Not necessarily. It's a very, so when I will say it can be a complex situation, and it is case by case basis for
Okay.
getting crisis services involved and working with someone who is mentioning that they are feeling unsafe. And what I mean by unsafe is they want to cause harm to themselves.
Okay.
It's safety is ongoing. Safety is ongoing assessed.
Okay. And so, say, let's get this scenario going just to clear this, like, to
Sure.
give it a visual for some people. Say you have someone comes in. Well, they already called you saying that they really need to talk to someone. They're going through some things. They feel like this is it. They don't want to live anymore or something like that. And they come to you, but then they reject you.
So if I'm getting that first phone call,
Mm-hmm.
I'm referring to crisis services right away.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And have you seen a situation like that go wrong? Like where the assessment led to something like that, and now that person is held in custody or held to keep themselves from doing more harm to themselves? I noticed the patient, client.
Yeah, I
therapist.
can't really speak
Right,
too
right.
much on specific examples.
Well,
there.
no names on that, but just
no.
like a scenario of it. Have you witnessed something like that though?
Have I had to make crisis calls before?
Yeah, and then it took further steps.
I mean, it's something I can't really comment on a whole ton.
So that means yeah.
It means it's something I can't comment on a whole ton. Just because it's.
I don't want to laugh about it,
Yeah.
but you answer without answering. I understand that part, and I get, like I said, you for your,
Yeah.
and confidentiality and stuff like that. I get
And I'm
it.
taking it to an extreme here for sure.
Oh, okay, but okay.
On confidentiality, it's more of those aren't necessarily stories that would be. It's someone else's story, not mine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just, but for me, I'm just not trying to pry too much, but I just want to give an idea of how far things can go, or this is the side that doesn't get talked about though. That's my whole point.
Are you looking at what it takes for somebody to get hospitalized?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm just going in just to have a regular session, or I'm just going in because I'm talking because I really need some help, and I'm feeling like I'm down and my back is against the wall, nothing else for me. I just went for this one session. Now I'm led to here. How did this happen? Type of thing, being hospitalized and stuff like that.
So, the process there, safety is discussed, where I would directly mention, hey, I'm really having some concerns about your safety. I think it's important we call crisis services right now.
So it's not, I'm calling it on them without their knowledge. We're going to talk about. That's where okay. So yeah, because I'm like, that's kind of wow. Like for me, I'm just giving like, man, someone's coming to you for that guidance, for some word or something to help them, and then it does more harm to them than help them. That's the type of scenario I'm thinking. Like, did it get to that type of scenario where that person? And I was like, wow, I didn't mean to end up here when all I wanted to do was just talk to someone.
So I am glad you mentioned that too when it comes to, can therapy be more harmful than helpful? And that's why informed consent is so important in the first session.
Okay.
Where letting clients know risks and benefits of participating in therapy, limits of HIPAA and confidentiality.
Right.
That's all discussed first session and ongoing.
Okay. Yeah, because I really feel like that, man, someone who really was down and like who maybe thought of unaliving themselves or something like that, but they didn't think it would lead them to being hospitalized or put into an institution over them speaking to who they thought can help them is what, that's what I was trying to get across.
So in that, safety and limits of confidentiality are discussed with session 1.
And from that point, do you get clarification from the potential client, and confirming your
so I'm assessing for safety almost every session.
okay, and regardless to what they say to you, you override that, because they can say, "Oh, I'm fine," but the actions can show something else.
I would say a comprehensive lethality assessment is done, and I reach out for supervision as well. These are decisions that I take very seriously when it comes to someone's safety and well-being.
Okay, and do you like ask for other people, like a relative, for them to have a relative or someone that you guys can talk to if you needed to, other than themselves?
We have so releases have to happen, releases of information have to happen, but we do have emergency contacts, yes.
Okay, and in that type of what we would consider an emergency, right? Would you reach out to them first and talk to them before making decisions, or you just have to make those decisions?
It all depends on the situation.
Oh, okay. I know this is kind of, touchy on because it's too many scenarios, but I was trying to get like just some scenarios so people can have ideas on, like I said, you can talk about the good side of therapy all the time, but there is some parts where things go way left that you did not expect to go that way, and lead you into the other scenarios. But I know that I'm not downplaying or knocking therapy or anything like that, but I'm just wanting to talk that real talk about both sides, not just one, happy side of things.
So in terms of, I think a lot of people's, one of the fears, well, I don't want you hospitalizing me, I don't want you hospitalizing me.
Or putting me on some meds and the suggesting that I need to take this or do this.
Correct. So me as a therapist, I have nothing to do with medications.
Right.
I can't tell someone to take medications. That's beyond my scope and practice.
Right. Okay. So that's that other that you was talking about, is so many different levels of therapy and counseling, because I think what is those certain institutes that does that or something like that? I don't want to get it all twisted up. I'm sorry about that. I should have did a little more research on that part, but I think that's when it deals with the hospitals or something like that.
Are you talking about court mandated therapy?
Yeah, stuff like, kind of not really. Stuff that where it's still into their own, voluntary service that they're doing, but at the same time, the judgment of the therapist can rule a different way. So maybe that is court mandated.
So that's not really, like, in terms of having a safety concern about a client and then next steps. I'm not telling anybody they need to go to the hospital. I am calling crisis services and going from there.
Okay, and you just leave it, and that way less.
Well, no, we're working together on it, but it's putting safety as number one.
Okay, but are you more involved the entire way, or are you less involved once you call crisis?
I don't really know if more or less is the way I would categorize it, so much
Okay.
as of course I'm going to be concerned about a client who is
Came
potentially
in.
going into a
Yeah,
hospital.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Because well, like some, well, that's it. We write off. That's no longer our issue. Now that we've handed it over to. Oh,
No.
okay. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
So you're still involved in that, regardless. Okay.
No, that I can't imagine abandoning a client who had to go to the hospital. Absolutely not.
Man, yeah,
No.
that would be deep.
No.
Okay. So I hope I got around that after dancing around that for about a good 5 minutes or so. I believe.
It's not an easy conversation to have.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to, like I said, to
Yeah.
intrude on things that you can and can't say, but like I just wanted to give some type of.
Yeah, and I will say the goal is always safety. It's never to disrespect someone's autonomy or spring something on them. It's a discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because these are critical, like, conversations that, like, everyday people talk about. Barbershop, the gym, wherever. They're like, yeah, I don't know about therapy, but, man, you get locked up in a nut house, they think there's something wrong with you. Those stereotypes. Like
Yeah, my goal is not to send anyone to a hospital, and I can't send anyone to a hospital.
Okay.
It's more of safety is first, and if that's the direction we have to go, then that's the direction. But I am not looking to those are a lot of myths about therapy and counseling.
Oh,
That
okay.
we're just waiting, sitting there to send somebody to a hospital, and no,
Oh, okay. Okay.
no, that decision is not made lightly.
Then that person shouldn't be a therapist either. Actually, when you think about it.
That decision is not made lightly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we can get off of that because bring the energy back up, But like I said, I had to at least ask something in those realms of that because,
Yeah.
like I said, all you're hearing about from other counselors or people themselves saying something is always about the plus, but there is also negatives with everything in life.
Well, yeah, and I will say too, therapy is hard work. Therapy is it is uncomfortable sometimes.
Right.
Doing this type of emotional work can be challenging and uncomfortable.
And that you tend to see that frustrates a lot of clients and makes them almost like want to give up on it, or
Ebbs and flows, I would say, right? And it's all about readiness level.
okay.
Speaking of my own experiences in counseling, yeah, there are plenty of times I've walked out of a session and said, I'm exhausted, that is tiring.
Really?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But
Is it because it's taking the mind to a place, or the thoughts, or like what is it that's saying, like, without too much detail, like that gets you to that point where, okay, that's enough for today, I can't do this?
yeah, so doing that type of emotional work, at least in terms of what I've done, is learning to let go of certain viewpoints or things that, certain events, things of that nature, if that makes sense, where if I go to the gym and I lift the same weight over and over again, I'm not going to get stronger. If I go to a gym and lift a weight that's reasonably challenged for me, I'm going to get stronger. And in my experience, therapy has been a similar way, where what I was willing to give into the therapy session made a difference on my outcomes in doing the work. I can't speak for other clients. I can only speak from my experience there.
Okay.
Does that make sense? A little bit? I get it? Cool.
Yeah. So, like, for an example, one of the guests I was interviewing said something about what he had to go through his trauma, and he said what he did was to put himself in a mind state that he was somewhere else in a suit, dressed up, penthouse, looking down at the city, the sun shining on his face, and to keep himself going, like, I can do this. Now, is that like what you're meaning when you said about, like, putting yourself in a mind state of, do you use metaphoric stuff like that, or
I use metaphors all the time.
Oh, okay, in
Yeah.
therapy like that,
Yeah.
for clients to use and say, okay, do this, or put yourself in this place? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I use metaphors all the time.
Okay, so that is a normal thing for counselors to do.
Oh, it's important for me to use client language for sure. Like if I have and make it more relatable. So if I have someone, I don't know, they're really into baseball, I'm going to use as many realistic baseball metaphors as I can.
Right.
Jargon is not helpful to that client.
Yeah, you relate literally. You try to relate to your client, each individual, to the as specific as possible.
Absolutely, yes.
And you found that is the best way to get to them and help them. Or I'm not going to use help, but guide them. So.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Nobody, including myself, likes to use therapeutic jargon terms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like having them spewed at me.
Oh,
if someone can explain to me something in a sports term or whatever it is, my interest, that's going to stick with me.
Right. Yeah, right. Okay. So yeah, that goes across everything, because that's how I even felt when I had a conversation about us teaching children. Like, they're children. They're new to this world.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling them to do stuff that you've been here for however many years, and they're like, no, I'm curious about this, and that, and then you're not relating to them.
Yes.
So attention is gonna go away and not be focused,
Yes.
or it's not going to help them, and they
Right.
wonder why. Certain people, going back to the therapy side, wonder why the therapy doesn't help them, or they're not, because you're not tuning into what is relatable to you, because we all do that with our attention span. Oh wait, you could be talking about something and then a trigger word happens. Oh yeah, and such, did you see how such and such was playing the Buffalo Bills? Oh wait, what? Oh yeah, oh okay, yeah, so yeah.
Before I teach, I need to connect.
Alright, okay.
If I don't have that connection, there is nothing I can do to teach that person, because would you listen to me?
Right.
If I didn't understand where you were coming from or make an attempt, would you listen? Would you be engaged?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
No.
Now, on a personal level, how does this affect you relationship wise? Are you constantly assessing the person
No.
or do you find yourself having that little tendency to do that? Put someone into a therapy session as you're talking to the person that you're, dating or going. Oh, okay.
No. Do you know how exhausting that would be?
Hey, I just had to ask.
No.
Like,
I mean,
you think
sure,
about it.
It's probably come up time to time in the past, sure, but I'm usually pretty mindful of that, where it's not fair for me to put somebody under a microscope like that, and it's not healthy.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
it's like, going to any social gatherings. Usually my line would be, if somebody starts talking like, oh, I want to talk about mental health, like, okay, I'm happy to, provide a referral if you need one.
Right.
But it's that is part of me I try to keep at the office, where I'm not looking to diagnose friends and family members. In fact, I can't because of ethics, so nor would I.
Oh, okay.
That part of my brain is more to keep that there.
Oh, okay.
And live my life.
Okay, yeah, because I was wondering, like, do you take that with your relationship, your friendships, to travel with you every single time? You're sitting up there assessing your buddies and stuff like that? Oh.
No.
Man, get him out of here. He's going to do nothing but give us this is not a therapy session, man.
No. There's more parts of my life than therapy and being a therapist. And
Right.
when I'm there, I try to be as present as I possibly can.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Because, would you want to hang around me if you knew I was just sitting there like, what's Q did this, and
Yeah.
that? That means he's doing this, and they're like, nah.
But some people can't turn that off. There's a lot of people. That's a fair question, because a lot of people literally
That's a very fair question.
take their job into their personal lives, and it affects what they do. Like,
I'm very passionate about what I do,
mm-hmm.
but I'm going to leave it there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm very passionate about what I do, but I have no intention of trying to analyze everyone I'm around. That sounds exhausting to me. I'm not judging anyone who does do that or is in a place where they're doing that. It's just not for me.
Okay.
And if I catch myself doing that,
Mhm.
like, we're going to put that over there.
Oh.
We don't need to do that.
Yeah, because I got a relative kind of like that. I don't want to put him out there like that, but yeah, it's in the lawyer mode all the time. Like, you know that, wait, hey, hold on, buddy, but we just chilling here. This is, what's going on? This is just a regular event out here. Oh, okay. Well, all right then, and it just affects his who he is. Like we knew who he is, like down to earth side versus work, but now the work is all about the work, even when he's.
Yeah, I do a lot of cool things in life, and I'm proud to say that. Me as a therapist is one of them. There
Right.
are others I do too, and I wouldn't define myself by any of those individually, nor as I any more than I would being a therapist.
Okay. All right. So, on that note, we're going to conclude today's episode, and I hope that everyone who is tuning in to this one got some inspiration or some guidance towards if you were deciding to look for therapy or become a therapist yourself, that you got some type of insight on this topic and the mental health side of it and the counselor's point of view side of things. That's what this was more so about, because we hear about people going and talking about their experiences, but it's very rare that counselors and therapists actually talk about their viewpoint and their side of things. So I hope you found this informative, and on that note, I would like to end it there. Is there anything you want to leave the people with, information, or where they can find you?
No, thanks for having me on. As far as where to find me, I mean, Psychology Today, I have a profile on there.
Okay.
Probably be the best way to look for me there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he will leave some information that I will leave at the in the description. So if you want to, you can just go on to there and reach out if you need that assistance.
Yeah, there'll be resources and different, if you're interested in becoming a therapist, different professional programs within the area.
All right. Sounds good. I greatly
All right,
appreciate
thank
it,
you.
man.
Thanks for having me on.
This has been another episode of Talk That Talk with Q. I'm your host, the one and only Q, and I would like to say peace and love, peace and light to you all. Good night.
Share